So you're thinking of getting your real estate license, but you have no idea where to start. Well, welcome. You've come to the right place. My name is Marissa and I'm a real estate agent here in Wisconsin. When I was beginning the journey of getting my license back in 2020, there were no resources out there. It was really difficult to figure out what were the steps that I needed to go through in order to get my license. And I wish I had a video like this that could walk me through the steps and make it so much easier and less stressful. We're gonna hit some of the high points. I'm not gonna go too in depth, but you are going to know everything you will need to know, all of the basics, where to go, how much things are gonna cost after you're done watching this video. Okay, so starting off, we have pre-licensing. There is a 72-hour course that you are going to need to take, obviously not within 72 hours. Mine actually took me like 4 months to get through because I was working full-time and coaching cheerleading on the side. So you can definitely take your time getting through this course. Some people have finished it in a couple of weeks and some people take a couple of months, like me. So this course can be an in-person course or you can take it online. Personally, I took it online. I just learned better that way and I felt like it really allowed me to take my time and pace myself the way that I needed to. So I would recommend the CE Shop is who I took my course through, but you could also check out WRA.org. They are kind of the main association that we're with, the Wisconsin Realtors Association. So they are gonna have great resources on their website. I just checked, actually, it's about $350 to take it through WRA. I believe when I took it through the CE Shop, it was about $250. You can actually get like Black Friday deals on your pre-licensing. So if you are looking to get started around the holidays, you might get yourself a good deal. And then in-person courses, I know a lot of people have talked about Laurel Stone in our area, and they always say that they have a great experience going to Laurel Stone courses in person. So if you are thinking of going the in-person route, WRA has options, Laurel Stone has options. And if you're thinking of going the online route, obviously you can do whatever you'd like. Make sure the course is an approved course before you get all the way through and then go into panic mode like I did. But CE Shop is an approved course and WRA.org obviously is also an approved online course. Then once you have finished your pre-licensing, congratulations, that is no small feat. It definitely is a long class and I really like the CE Shop personally because I could take 1,000,000 practice exams and you need to score, I believe it's a 70 or 75% on the state exam in order to pass. So once I was consistently getting about a 90 to 95% on all of my practice exams, I felt comfortable enough to schedule my state exam. So my number one piece of advice for you in scheduling your state exam is to schedule it early because they have a limited amount of days that you can actually go and take the exam. They will have people taking other exams there, so it's not just real estate and it's all on the computer. Your state exam for Wisconsin in particular is going to be scheduled through Pearson VUE. You can actually just look up Pearson VUE Real Estate Exam Wisconsin in Google and it should bring you to the right place. Now they do have practice exams available on Pearson VUE for purchase as well, but I did pay for one of those and I would not recommend it. It's not actually the amount of questions that's on the actual exam, so it's really hard to compare apples to apples. The practice tests on there were actually less questions. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I want to say that the state exam is between 100 to 150 questions. And the state exam will cost you about $75 to take. I would say that it probably took me about an hour to an hour and a half to get through the computer exam. And then once you're done, you'll go back up to the front desk and they will just print a sheet of paper off for you, fold it up and hand it to you. So it's really kind of nerve-wracking because they don't just, let you out and say, okay, well, you passed or you failed. They put it on a piece of paper and they just send you on your way and you just go and you look at what the paper says. So I actually waited until I got into my car because I was super nervous and when I opened it up, I was just like screaming with excitement. So just so you know, you're not gonna get your results verbally. They're gonna print them off, which is kind of nice because then they're not just being like, you failed in front of all these other people. So they send you on your way, you'll have that piece of paper. Make sure you hold on to that piece of paper and make a copy of it because you are going to need your proof of passing the exam in order to apply for your license. Hey, did you know that I now offer my listing presentation and seller guide on Etsy for purchase? This fully customizable listing presentation has 12 pages, including a resume/about me page. There is also a page where it goes into the services you offer and what kind of value you bring to the table. And then we hop into the overall process. There is a staging checklist and all of the information is in there. It's not just the design. Because it's made by me as an active full-time real estate agent, I have tons of value and information packed into the seller guide. At the very end of this listing presentation, I also have seller guidelines, and you can get rid of any pages you want or add in any pages you want, but I love having my seller guidelines because it ensures that the process goes smoothly. It kind of lets them know all of the rules up front so that we don't have any hiccups throughout the transaction. So I've got all of the good stuff, all of my secrets plugged into this listing presentation. Head to the description if you want the link to purchase this listing presentation, and then let me know what you think. So you've done your pre-licensing, you've gotten through that, you've taken your state exam, you've passed. Now it is time to apply for your license. You're going to apply for your license through Wisconsin DSPS, the Department of Safety and Professional Services. So you're just gonna go onto their website and they are gonna have a whole bunch of professions listed. You're gonna scroll down and find real estate salesperson, and then you should be able to find a form that is the application form. You're gonna fill out that form, include a copy of your pre-licensing certificate as well as your pass certificate from your state exam. You will also likely want to be associated with a brokerage by this time because I believe you have to write that in the form as well. So I actually got associated with my original brokerage before I even took the state exam, which was pretty helpful because then they can kind of give you that moral support. I do have another video on picking a brokerage, so make sure you go and check that out. But my main highlights, I would say, when picking a brokerage is to make sure you look at the mentorship and training opportunities and the support that they have, rather than just the financial pieces. If they're saying that they can provide you with all of these great financial benefits and all of these leads, don't get distracted by shiny object syndrome. If you want to make it long-term in the real estate industry, pick a brokerage that is going to give you that support and runway that you need in order to be a successful new agent. Another tip that I would recommend is having a mentor in the real estate industry that you can lean on for support and knowledge and training. So I actually had my cousin, Michelle, who I asked a million questions to before I really got into real estate. I would really recommend that, and there is nothing saying that you cannot go along with this agent to their appointments. Obviously, you can't do things that would require a license, but you can definitely tag along and shadow a real estate agent before you begin this process to know if it's really for you. But even when you have your license, if you have a mentor, it's a great thing to have because you can go along to showings with them and closings and other appointments, and you can just learn on-the-job experience. You likely will not get paid for the time you spend doing this, but you are gonna receive a lot of knowledge and skills for the future. So our last topic of conversation is going to be about money and finances. Unfortunately, a lot of people get into real estate thinking that they are just going to be slinging deals and making so much money right off the bat, which some people do, but it is definitely not the case for an average Joe. You should essentially plan to close 0 deals in the first 6 months to a year, and if you close anything over 0, you should consider that a huge success. It is a lot to get started. Your friends and family might not always work with you, and you just have to let it roll off your back and not take it personally. So what I would personally recommend if you are an agent in Wisconsin is saving about $1,000 for your realtor fees and initial startup costs. That is going to exclude the pre-licensing, the fee for applying for your license, and then the fee for the state exam. And then on top of that, this $1,000 is not going to pay the bills. So you're gonna need to save about 3 to 6 months of expenses. The more runway you can give yourself, the better. You're not gonna be so stressed about money. If you are so stressed about when that next commission check is coming, your clients you're working with are definitely gonna feel that. So make sure you have enough set aside so that you can feel comfortable and confident just doing your job. On top of your life expenses, you are also going to have business expenses. So make sure you are prepared to pay office fees, whether that be monthly or by transaction. You will also have to do continuing education every 2 years. Personally, continuing education costs me about $130 every 2 years, but obviously that can vary depending on the course that you're taking. And then also you have to renew your license every year. So that's about $60 to $70 to renew your license in Wisconsin. I would also recommend, much like the pre-licensing course, creating a timeline for your budget and saving a certain amount of money each week or each month or whenever you get paid in order to be prepared for that runway for when you really take the leap. Well, those are just the basics. I have a ton of other videos specifically for real estate agents, and if there's anything else that you are wondering about that I don't have a video for, feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm wishing you the very best of luck on this journey to get your real estate license. I hope this video was very helpful to you, and I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one.